here we are with the world champion PV Sindhu. To be precise, the only Indian to grab the title. Sindhu, welcome to Kerala Olympic Channel, and we are glad to have you here. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Well, my question is, what if a 5-year-old self of yours met the current PV Sindhu? What would she think about the PV Sindhu you are today?
Well, if a 5-year-old PV Sindhu had met me today, I think I would have not expected, because when I was really young and when I started off badminton at the age of 8, I never expected that I'll become a world champion or an Olympic silver medalist, because that time it was just okay, I was just playing for fun. But then obviously badminton is my passion, but we never know what's going to happen in the future, right? So when I meet now PV Sindhu, I would just think that okay, it was just a dream which has come true. Yeah.
A dream which has come true, and it took a long journey to reach here, right? From being a young Sindhu to the world champion Sindhu, that was a challenging journey. Could you describe how that whole journey went on from that very young age?
Well, there were a lot of sacrifices happening, and it wasn't easy, but there was a lot of hard work, commitment, and from my side and as well as my parents, because when I started off badminton, both my parents used to work in railways, so they had to quit their job. They gave a VR, and so that they can stay with me and also take care of me. Well, they keep traveling with me for tournaments, so for them also they've done a lot of sacrifices for me. So I think for me, myself, I've won a lot of tournaments, I lost a lot of tournaments. When you lose, you feel that, it's over, or you feel sad at that point, but it's you just have to feel that, there's always a next time, and you need to come back much more stronger. That is the belief that you should have for yourself, and I kept going, and, I kept believing in myself. So, I've come so far, and yeah, I am very thankful to my parents, because I think because of them I'm here today.
Exactly.
It's very important that the parents should see the interest of their children and support them and motivate them. It's not just that okay, they join them in some academy and think that okay, even she'll come up, but they need to follow them, what's happening, what's going on. Or I'm very lucky to have my parents as sports persons, because my dad and mom were volleyball players. So in one way I'm very lucky that they give me some tips, and they keep telling me what it is, and my dad gives me some tips while I play. And at the same time, they've come up from that level, so they know what it is. Even though I lose, they're like, there's always a next time. So that is like encouragement for me in one way.
That way, I have read somewhere that you used to travel 45 kilometers to train, and your dad was the one who used to take you. So for a young kid, a young girl, that's a lot of dedication and commitment. Like we see in India, mostly the parents force feed them, they go and do. But was it your own drive, or was it your parents that that motivated you to do all this commitment and dedication?
Well, badminton is my passion, so I wanted. My dad was like, let us train here, because it was getting tough. I've come from a normal family where I just used to train near my house, and then suddenly it was so far that my parents had to go for work, and then I had to come back and go to school. So, but then badminton was my passion, as I said. So my dad and mom said, okay, let's try, how is it? So, I've started improving, I started winning, and that is how...
that gave you the drive, like, I'm getting into it, I'm getting into the track. That moved you.
Yes, because, when you win something, you're like, okay, I want it more and more. So that keeps me going, and after that, a couple of years I've been traveling really far, but then later on we shifted nearby to the academy so that it would be easy for me too. But now again I almost go for 1 hour again for my training sessions, where I think it is very important for every player to know their body condition and how it is and what it is. me being in this level, I think it is very important to take care of my body, especially.
Yeah, exactly. And as you said, your parents are from the sports background. They both were volleyball player. You had said that badminton is your passion, but yet why not volleyball? Like, yeah, you had been seeing this, and that's more easy for you. You will get more better tips about volleyball than badminton. But why not volleyball and badminton?
Firstly, it was my own interest that I've come into badminton, and secondly, I think my parents never forced me to come into volleyball. Rather, they supported me in whichever sport I wanted to. But yeah, a lot of people asked me why not volleyball, why badminton, but it was my own interest that I've come into badminton. I never thought about any other sport basically. So
yeah, and your sister, she too was into the sport.
She used to play netball. So she's a doctor now. So.
Yeah, but she shifted the track. Like she didn't pursue the sport, and
she used to play well.
Yeah,
but she also used to study well, and then she decided to become a doctor.
Even you are good at academics, right?
Yeah, I completed my MBA recently. So I think studies and sports are equally important at the end of the day, because it's very important to know some sort of education is much needed.
Exactly. So coming to two of the moments, every PV Sindhu fan will remember the 2016 Rio Olympics, where you were holding the silver medal with a subtle and a confident smile. But fast forward to this year, 2019, the World Championship, and you were literally having a small tears of joy while holding the gold medal. How would you compare these two moments? Like, you were the one making history right there. What did you feel there?
Both were very different for me, different experiences, because the best moments of my life, I would say. Every win is completely different, and talking about Olympics, where I've never expected first Olympics and I've got a silver medal, and again the World Championships this year, 2019, so I must say it's a much weighted win, because I had 2 silver, 2 bronze, and it was very important for me to get this gold, and finally I'm here with the gold.
Exactly. That on the podium and the rising Indian flag and the anthem, that ambience, how would you describe that moment?
Well, no words, because it was beyond, I almost had tears, because it's a mixed expressions, I must say. I was having few tears, I was really happy, and no words to express, because it was just that you standing there and the national anthem being played, and in the different country, your national flag flying high. It's definitely a wonderful moment for everybody.
Coming to the World Championship, the preparation, like everyone wants to know what was the preparation, because looking back to the previous tournaments, you were near the gold, but you couldn't win it, and many a times there were many tags attached to you, if you know the choker and everything. So yes, definitely you had that drive that I need to pass this. So what was the preparation you had before moving to the court for the finals? Like, it was Okuhara right there, and you know her, and what was your feeling when you were moving to the court?
Firstly, the preparations went on really well, and I was confident that I can do much better, but then every match was very important for me. I wasn't thinking about the quarterfinals or semi-finals when I was playing the first round, but yeah, every round was very, very important. And at the same time, talking about finals, when Okuhara won her semi-finals, a lot of people were saying, okay, it's going to be a repeat of 2017, where it was one of the longest matches. Yeah, I expected it would be a long match, but since we know each other's game, it's just that on that day who plays well and give their best is a winner, and at the same time, everybody has a different style of play, so you would have different strategies against her. So yeah, everything went on well.
Isn't that a tough nut to crack, because you know her and even she knows you, and you both know your styles, so both were preparing for different strategies and everything, but there is something that you both know the styles. Isn't that a tough challenge to meet?
It is. That is why we have to strategize accordingly, I would say, because you can't go with plan A, and if plan A doesn't work, it shouldn't be like, okay, you don't know anything else. So you have to go with 3-4 plans, where if plan A doesn't work, you go with the plan B. And almost the top 10 players, 10 to 15 players in the world know each other's game. So it's just that on that day, who plays well and give their best is a winner.
Like for Indians, it is 2 players. Like for the Rio Olympics, it was Carolina Marin and this Okuhara. For Indians, these 2 are like, oh my God, PV Sindhu is playing these 2, and yes, what the match would be. People will be very excited about these 2 matches. So on a scale of 1 to 10, who would you mark the toughest? Is the Carolina Marin and Okuhara, or you can mark both of them?
Yeah, no, I mean they are tough, yes, but I would not say that they have the same type of game, because you know, Carolina is very aggressive and very attacking player, where Okuhara is, you know, a rally player where you need to play long matches, and so it's completely different when you compare with each of them. But yeah, they are tough players. You know, it's not easy to
So when you plan for these 2 players, what are the strategies you take in mind? Like for the aspiring badminton players in our country, they would be really interested to know what are the PV Sindhu's strategies, what are the tactics she use on the court. Can you describe this?
Tactics in the sense, I would say, when I go onto the court, it's just that I think that, you know, I need to give my best. Winning and losing is secondary, but most important is that you need to give your 100%. You know, automatically you will play well. And second is, you know, a lot of people take pressure to themselves. You know, I've also had that stage, but you just have to think that, you know, a lot of expectations will be there, and people expect you to win all the time you go for a tournament, which is not possible. You know, sometimes you might lose, sometimes you might win, but you know, when people expect a lot, it's just that you go onto the court and play for yourself rather than thinking about people, what they think. So that would add extra pressure. So rather you just go onto the court and just be focused and play your game.
Exactly. And coming to the grunting part, the aggressiveness, like as you mentioned for Carolina Marin, she is very aggressive on court, and you were not that aggressive to a point of time. You were a subtle player you used to hide everything inside yourself. Then you started being aggressive. That evolution, that change of PV Sindhu, how did that happen, and what was the preparation for that?
I was very sensitive, yes, I am very sensitive, but when it comes to on court, I used to not shout in the beginning, but you know, when I was, I think 4 years or 5 years down the line, my coach was like, okay, you have to shout, and I didn't shout. So he told me like 2-3 times very seriously that I want you to shout. So he said, if you shout, then only I'm gonna make you play, otherwise you just go. Rather, I ended up not shouting that day. So that is how I learned. Rather, I just started crying. So that is how I learned shouting, and that really helped me, you know, years down the line. And yeah, now here I am.
Is that a better tactics to win the game, or to just release your stress or the pressure you have on that point? Is that the thing that you use for?
Yeah, it's more of like sometimes you just let it go, and whatever you are feeling inside your, you know, in your mind or whatever it is, even the pressure, you just shout and you just let it go. Or, you know, when you get that point, when you're very aggressive that, okay, you know, I have won a point against her, so you just shout for yourself.
So that would just let them go down? Is that so? That's the psychology
there are
behind
a lot of tactics, but few players are very, very strong, as Carolina Marin. And a lot of people shout, you know, nowadays a lot of people are like very aggressive at times.
Take a break and they just change the shuttle.
Yeah, these are the strategies and tactics that, you know, they use. So everybody has that, you know, change the shuttle, take a break when they are losing points. Yeah, it's all part of the game.
Exactly. And coming to the health regime, like, as you said, you need to maintain a particular composure, particular body posture, the health regime. What are the health regime that you follow?
I do eat rice, of course, but it again differentiates where body to body, you know, person to person, it's completely different, where few people just need to have roti and some curry, where I eat rice. I'm used to it since I was young. So not much of oily food, where it really, you know, you can gain your weight, and not much of junk food, which is not good for your health. Rather, you just have to maintain your weight, and protein is very much important because you play a lot of badminton where you get tired and physically. So I think it is very important to have protein in your body.
Exactly. And there is a thing that mostly when we discuss badminton, people talk about as the height factor. Like if she is tall, she can take an advantage of her height and etc. But many times we have seen that a lower person like Okuhara is winning against you. Do you think the height factor matters in the court?
Yes, there are few advantages and disadvantages. Advantages, of course, I have the good reach and good coverage of the court, where disadvantages are like you need to bend a lot when they actually play a downward strokes. But now it's okay, you practice them and you be fine with it. But yeah, there are few advantages and disadvantages.
And coming to your coach, Gopi Chand, definitely everyone wants to know about him. How was the training session? How's the training session with him? Like the whole session, the friendship and the teacher-student relation.
I've been training with him since I was 10. So year by year, step by step, we've been improving a lot. And I think as a coach, he needs to know what the player mentality is and how she is. And as a player, I need to know how my coach is and how tough he is. So yeah, step by step we've been improving and I've come so far. But recently, there are a few other coaches who've joined, the Korean coach, Miss Kim. So I think her contribution also was pretty a lot, because she really made few changes in my game which really helped me before the World Championships. So yeah.
Yeah, coming to the Korean coach Kim, did her contribution add on to your performance? Like when you are facing a East Asian player like Japanese or Korean player, Thailand player, does her contribution give you an extra brownie points?
Actually, when she came a couple of months back, we've been working on it, we've been figuring it out, and it really worked out, where every coach has a different mindset. So Miss Kim, where she had few changes she wanted me to do, and I've been working on them. That really helped me, of course, under the guidance of Gopi sir. So I think we've planned accordingly, and before the World Championships, and I played really well at the World Championships. So I would thank her and also Gopi sir for their hard work and contribution as well.
So is the regime something different from that of Indian coaches? Any difference between the Indian and the East Asian coaches? Did you feel anything?
I would not say some difference, but I would just say that the coaches, whoever it is, needs to be educated and know the sport really well, so that when you compete with the international level, international players, you need to know what their game is, what the strategies need to apply for them, and also know what it is. Okay, if you're making some mistakes, they need to correct you. Okay, this is what you're doing, this needs to be done. So I think every player, every coach should have that knowledge to coach us.
Exactly. Coming to the Indian scenario, that's like people, we have lots of population, we have a lot of people around here, but the kids coming for sports is much fewer. Coming to badminton, it's much lesser. What do you think the future of India in badminton and the inclusion of PBL? How do you think how it would work?
Actually, I would not say sports. Coming to sports or joining sports is a lot fewer, but I would not agree with that, because a lot of people are into sports now, and after the Rio Olympics, I think a lot of kids are taking badminton as their career. So I think it's really good that sports in India is really picking up, and the government is very supportive in every state. Of course, being in Kerala, I think our CM sir has been really very supportive, because the sports is doing really well in Kerala. So I would say it's good for everybody, and I wish we will get many more medals in our country in next few years. At the same time, yeah, talking about PBL, it's good for the youngsters, where they get a very good exposure, where they get to see the top world-class players. At the same time, they get to play with them. So it's good for every every youngster where they can actually learn a lot of things seeing them.
There are a few rapid fire for you now, Sindhu. Okay, so who is the better player at home, mom or dad?
No answer, because I would say they're like my two eyes, so both of them.
One food that you crave for when you are in your health regime?
I like ice creams and junk food, so yeah.
Okay, so you are banned from that. Okay, one dress that you would like to wear?
I love dressing up. So it depends on that particular event or that particular mood, because it's very important to be very comfortable in what you wear. So I would say that it depends on that particular event, whatever it is.
So you really loved the photo shoot with Deepika Padukone in family?
Yeah, it was really good.
So one place you would really want to go, like you are around the world always?
Yeah. I like not one place, there are 2-3 places.
Okay.
Swiss, I've been there, and I played my world championships and I won there. And apart from that, I would love to go to Greece and Italy. So someday I will. One
really personal question. Saina Nehwal, it's Kashyap. So who's for Sindhu?
As in like
Saina Nehwal, she got P. Kashyap.
Oh, so Sindhu, okay. There's still time for that. Okay. Right now it's just the Olympic 2020. So, yeah.
Tollywood or Bollywood?
I don't know.
Okay, anytime soon we could see Sindhu on screen, big screen?
Of course, my biopic is being made, so I hope it inspires a lot of people, a lot of youngsters, and it's still going on. So I hope, I'm really very excited about it, and I hope it goes well.
Yeah. So coming to Kerala,
yeah.
What do you feel about Kerala?
Kerala is really a good place, because since I was really young, I used to come for my tournaments, but recently, no, of course, but it's really good, and I've visited the Padmanabha Swami temple and also different temples, which have been really, really beautiful. I must say, they're so beautiful that definitely I will keep coming again and again. Yeah. And the people are really very sweet.
Like any contributions from your side from sports we can expect in the future?
Well, thinking about an academy soon, but definitely it will take time. So hopefully someday.
Kids, there are PV Sindhu coming for you as a coach. Yeah, wait for it. Cool. And how do you look up to this initiative of Kerala Olympic YouTube channel, because it's one of the initial initiatives you could say that's happening in India?
Yes.
So how do you look up to this?
Well, I would say it's really doing a great job, and I wish them all the very best, because they're really very supportive and encouraging all the time. And I hope many more to come, and once again all the very best.
Really, thank you very much, and thanks for joining with us.
Thank you.
It's been a great session with you, Sindhu. All the best for your future endeavors.
Thanks.